You guys, how long has it been? Has it been a month? I'm a little worried about falling in the same trap as I did a year ago, where all of a sudden I take 2 months off. So I went through the whole ordeal of like, well, what am I going to talk about? And I have all this footage that I shot of me drawing. So half of it is filled in, but I'm still like, well, when am I gonna, I'm just not planning the time to actually shoot this video, so. Now's as good a time as any. So just in case you're new to this channel, welcome to sunny Barcelona. I have the good fortune to live in this beautiful city and to take in all the vitamin D I can get while filling up my sketchbook. Whether it's at the office, in between phone calls, or in front of the TV, I try and have it in my hands as often as I can. So this week I finished watching The Defenders on Netflix, which is their small screen attempt at the Avengers. I love Daredevil. I really enjoyed Luke Cage, even though a lot of people didn't seem to enjoy the last half of that series. I thought it was just fine watching him. Well, I guess I shouldn't, in case you haven't seen it. No spoilers. And Jessica Jones and Iron Fist. I'm very pleased to say that Iron Fist finally found his place in this universe, because his show was definitely the weakest of the bunch. But as comic relief, and as a failed superhero, if you will, I think he fit in very nicely as part of a team rather than the showrunner. So I hope the next time we see him, it is not in his own series, but straight away teaming up with good old Luke Cage. I guess it kind of reminded me of the first Wolverine movie, because Logan was phenomenal. But when the first movie came around, it kind of made me think maybe Wolverine is just not very good outside of a team. And that's why they put so many mutants in that first Wolverine movie, to give him somewhat of a team around him to bounce off. Some characters, they work great in a team setting, but maybe they just can't be on their own. Who knows? Maybe that's the thing with this incarnation of Iron Fist. So I always had hopes for him in Defenders, and so they definitely pulled that one off. The one gripe I did have with this show, and so if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I did feel like they leaned a little too much on the previous shows when it came to the villains. There's all new villains in this one, even though it's the Hand, but there's 4 main villains, I guess, 4 fingers of the Hand, 4 mini bosses, if you will. And I wish they'd given us a little bit more about each one and why they're so dangerous, rather than lean on the previous show as in, well, you know how bad these guys are, so we can just focus on the main heroes. Which, in a way, makes the Avengers small screen comparison apt, because in the first 2 Avengers films, I do think they have decent villains, but the focus is heavily on the team and the heroes and their banter. And that's kind of the same thing with the Defenders. And it works, You should just go and see it for yourself. And if you have, let me know what you think about it down below. So having had the month of August off from social media, for the most part, there was the odd terrorist attack where I felt obliged to check into Facebook. But I did get to indulge myself in the TV show, movie, video game even. A little bit of Skyrim, never hurt anyone. But back to the sketching. So one of the things that, even though ultimately these faces turned out all right with the lack of detail, But one of the things that really bothered me working on this scale is that it made me realize that maybe I should try my hand at a completely different size, like A3 constantly, like the comic book pages for the 100 Days of Making Comics anthology. Drawing large brings its own problems. I tend to get carried away in detail, but I'm having trouble drawing the detail with this pencil. Like I feel the pencil is too thick, and I feel like I can make certain details work better if I just learn to draw on a larger scale. So for this particular sketchbook, only the first 2 pages are drawn in pencil and ink. I got more than my fill of inks in the last sketchbook. If you'd like to see my last sketchbook, it's in, I think it's the previous Sketchalona before this one. I'll be sure to put a link up in the corner. But for this one, on a whim, I decided to draw in blue, and then really enjoying myself with the blue pencil all of a sudden. I just decided to make it a thing and just to get the hang of it, because the blue pencil is it's thicker. Like it's kind of, I'm not sure I can really explain the subtleties of drawing with this one, but regular graphite pencil is just softer and just, smooth. And with this one, it's a little bit more of an effort, and it just makes me draw a little different, and that difference is just enough to make me think about how, what details I'm putting on a little, in a different way. And so a lot less sketchy, if you will, a lot more, it's almost as if it's the perfect pencil in between sketching, penciling, and inking. It makes me think more like how I think when I'm inking without pencil. And I think that kind of shows in this one. But at the same time, it is still a pencil. I can still draw very light. So I just came back from the little flea market over there just to check out some things I might be needing for turning the salon, the little living room we have, into another bedroom. So the thing that is missing is a door, a bed, and I'm not talking about like a little mattress on the floor, but like a proper bed. Check this out. So we're trying to show off this room for any potential new tenants. And so I thought, let's make some more changes with an eye to the future. So what do you think of this? You recognize it still? So we step outside the room, but now we have somewhat of a living room right here instead of over there. So what I want to do over here is, like, as soon as I have a little bit more money, I'm going to, so right now it's a bit of a mess, put everything here, and then I am going to insulate this room and rent it out. Meanwhile, back in the sketchbook, my little Defender sketch is coming along just nicely. I drew this today. I got to draw all the main characters, except for Luke Cage. I think Matt Murdock came out particularly well. Anyway. So yeah, my big wall full of drawings is gone. I'm gonna have to make a new one. I just haven't quite decided yet what is going to be my room. So the reason we're looking for new tenants is because Ellie is going back to university, and so she's looking for a new place. She's found it already, and she needs to save a little bit more money and is going to move out a little further away from the center. Um, so this is of course an opportunity for me, who's perennially broke, it seems. One of the things I love about the city is that it's a lot cheaper than London. However, so are the wages. And so I can get by, and it's kind of comfortable. I can't complain. But it seems every month something happens at the end of the month. There's always a little bit more month left rather than money, it seems. So this is a little bit of an opportunity to address the rents here, because the rent has been going up as well. So we might have an extra tenant if my friend lets me. That's the big if. And I'm also not sure if I want an extra tenant, because I like my peace and quiet. And so it's been very good living here with just the two of us in a big place. It's nice to finally have some space of my own rather than these tiny rooms that I could barely afford in London. So where I used to live for on and off for over 10 years. So yeah, it's kind of what's happening, you know, lots of furniture being moved around, lots of cleaning, of course, and trying to figure out how to write an ad for a room to let in Spanish. Putting some finishing touches on this this little drawing, this little page. This is where I seriously started cheating. It was only further along that I started to realize that these figures who are duking it out, they should be about the same size, but as you can see, there's a guy attacking from behind underneath my arm right now, who's practically a giant. Attacking this guy. These guys should be right in front of each other, but all of a sudden, the one over here is on a different plane, so hence the stairs. This guy falling, it all kind of works out. I think the likenesses of some came out better. Jessica Jones did not come out all right. She looks more like one of the Ramones. But Iron Fist, I'm pretty pleased. He looks the part. Finn Jones, I believe the actor's name is. That hand is awful. But overall, very pleased with this, how this all came out. So now that my exile from the internet has passed, I have to say it's been a very good experience. I really realized once again I'm a bit of a news junkie. I can't seem to stay away from the news. There's, you know, but I did for the first 2 weeks, and then I came running back. But one particular site that is still as addictive as ever, but I really started to see through it a lot more finally, was Facebook. I really feel like having been away for most of the month from Facebook, the couple of times I checked in, I mean, there's always like 10 to 20 notifications, but I'm not on there. So it almost looks as if they're just making stuff up just to get you to get excited and like start clicking on stuff and then on top of that, like the site is so overrun with ads, and I like sharing memes and looking at them as much as anyone else, but it's, you know, like we really are on Facebook rather than other sites because all of our friends and family are there, but so few people actually post stuff. So I think I'm gonna find it a lot easier to just kind of steer clear of that little blue icon on my phone. But I am back on Instagram. So if you haven't noticed, I really have not posted anything on Instagram in the past month, but I'm gonna start posting daily again. So just to let you have a look at the whole page, check this out. So this is what I've been posting the last 2 days. I'm gonna post 25 pages from this sketchbook. I've already got 25 done. I'll keep some of the videos behind for in case I fall behind. I have a busy week showing off this place to possible new tenants. Sad story. We had one tenant move in on Friday. She said yes on Tuesday. She moved in on Friday, and on Saturday she tried to put the money in my account, and then I guess she canceled it and sent me a message in Spanish, which I thought meant like, oh, I gotta go, so we gotta stop chatting on WhatsApp. But it actually meant, I gotta go, sorry, I'm out. I left the place. So if we're looking for another tenant. If you're interested, no, seriously, that'd be. If you are interested, you can let me know down below. But in the meantime, thanks so much for watching my videos. I have some more news on different kinds of social media up next week, but I have to make some more videos for that one. So stay tuned and you'll find out about my new endeavor. And I hope you guys are all having a good time wherever you are, and you keep drawing.